Well, everyone has been asking it, am I really going to be leaving this workshop just months after finishing it? Well, the short answer is yes. I'm not even finished getting the internals done, but opportunities come up in life, and if we don't take them, then things get a little bit boring. And the next 10 years are not going to be boring for us. They're going to be super exciting. Now, as far as the workshop goes, we're going to be staying here for years and years in this house. At the time of building this workshop, I had two options: build it in a way that I could potentially take it with me, or build it and accept the fact that this is Mark 1, this is a trial run. And what it's done for me is it's given me the confidence to know that I can kind of put together a timber frame of this scale. It's helped me learn my limitations as far as beam sizes and what I can lift without engine-powered mechanical help. It's given me a chance to work with Douglas fir rather than oak, slightly bigger dimension timber, and really just given me an idea of what it feels like to externally insulate a timber frame, a traditional timber frame like this, and what look that gives. You know, we had the whole thing where everyone was kicking off saying, oh my goodness, you've just hidden everything from the outside. Well, that's the idea, and if I did a house this way, I would do exactly the same. We could put stone outside it, brick outside it, whatever it is outside of our insulation layer. And this is what you get, this is what you achieve. You get all the hero shot comes on the inside, and you can do whatever you want outside. You could still clad it like we have here and go for the timber look, but there are no limitations really. Now, it is going to hurt when we turn our backs on this place, and especially this workshop space. It's warm, it's dry, it's soundproof. We're going to have none of that at the new place, and we're going to have to start from scratch, but we've got more space. We've got existing buildings that we can convert and make use of. But it was just a learning experience. If you don't start small, then you find out your problems on a bigger scale, and that can be expensive or dangerous. So same thing, and I know I always say it when people approach me and ask how do you learn to do these things, it's all about starting small. So there's no good starting on a house build if you've never done anything before. You're gonna find your limitations very, very, very quickly on that. Whereas if you've built a shed and you've done a carport or a gazebo, and then you've done a bit of a garage conversion, and you've built up your confidence, built up your skill set, built up your tools, then there are less shocks when you come to go the next step up. So that's what this was for me. It was just another ladder up the DIY, another rung up the DIY ladder. I did get a bit emotionally invested in it, but for me, a lot of it is about the construction. It's about the designing it, the ordering it, the thinking, the head scratching, and the doing. When it's done, if it's a piece of furniture, I could take it with me, yes, but a lot of the time, once it's done, that's kind of like me. I can focus on the next thing and not be kind of nurturing it and keeping it perfect, because, you know, it is what it is. It's just a building at the end of the day. A heavy, overbuilt building, but that's what's going on. Now, let me give you a little bit of an insight into how it's going to work at the next place. So the farm has a number of buildings, some of which are big and empty and noisy and drafty, and some of which are small brick stables and sheds, more garage type. So we need to work out one, we've got to store a lot of our furniture from the house because it's not coming into a mobile home with us. Two, we want to make sure that we've got somewhere that's safe and secure for tools and things like that. And also, I don't want to be rattling around, nor do I want to be, you know, moving from one place to another all the time to go and get a screwdriver or whatever. So we need to think about where it's going to be. Maybe in the future I'll share a bit of a location plan of where the buildings are in relation to each other. But for the time being, all you need to know is the first priority for us when we move to the farm is to construct the mobile home that we're going to be living in, the log cabin or whatever. Nothing was suitable. We looked all over the place that used, new, big, small. Nothing really ticked the boxes that we needed ticked, and that is that we're a family of 5. We really need some office space. Jo runs her studio business. I've got my photography business. So we need somewhere that's not just working on a laptop in the lounge. So we need to make a few extra rooms than a lot of the holiday type cabins or lodges. So we're going to build it ourselves. That means we need to have all the tools close to where we're building it. I'm going to be building the mobile home on the chassis that I've got being fabricated, and I'm going to build them in the big barn, the big empty cow barn. That should be an efficient way of working, but I don't really want all my tools I'm not just going to set up a bench like this there. So I think what I'll need to do is get a shipping container, and we'll pull that in with a tractor so it's within the barn, but it's a lockable room on its own. It'll also be a little bit more sheltered and warm because big barns are not particularly warm over winter. But it should be an efficient way of being able to work on components. And I'm thinking now we've built these cabinets, there's no reason why we can't build the kitchen in the cabin as well. So there's a few things like that which I don't need loads of space for. I just need an efficient workspace. Anyway, that is a separate issue for a separate time. But the answer is yes, we're going to be leaving this workshop. There's going to be a crossover, which is a really nice thing for us. It means we can move stuff up gradually. We don't have to just move everything on one day. So we'll be using the trailer cart tools up and things that we don't really want movers messing around with. I can take a bit more time. Not that movers won't take time and care, but taking apart the bandsaw and cement mixers and scaffolding, and there's no need to be bothering professional movers for that. So we will be able to do that each time we go up. We'll take a load and start gradually setting something up the other end. And then hopefully there won't be too many situations where we've got half our tools down here and half up there, and because it's not on the doorstep. It's a bit of a workshop chat video, this one. I'm afraid there's no DIY action, no sawdust flying in the air, but it was just really to answer the questions that have been coming in. I'm not really heartbroken about it. Like I said, there are reasons why I've built the workshop and I'm going to be leaving the workshop. It's certainly not going to come with me. People have asked that, but these oak pegs that are driven in are far, all the way through, and the oak, the Douglas fir and the oak is so bound together now. There is simply, even if you wanted to knock those in a little bit, they probably wouldn't go. Everything is so tight now that it just wouldn't work. I did consider the option of building it with metal connectors, and then I could unbolt it and take it with me. But when you're selling a house and you're saying, oh, that's not going to be I don't know if this is added on. What did we totaled it up to cost, I think, just under 10k. So I'm hoping that's added the same amount to the house at least. But we've had people interested in the house wanting to turn this into like a yoga studio, which broke my heart. This manly sawdust ridden place, which is full of blood, sweat and tears, was going to become a meditation room. But each to their own, and whoever moves here will have their own use for it. I still think a snooker room would be quite nice, or a bar in the corner and a pool table or something. Anyway, we'll leave that for the next owners. And to be quite honest, once we've left here, I don't really want to be thinking about what people are doing with the house, because it's taken a little while to get here, and once we're gone, we're gone. No regrets, I hope. But there we go. That's enough waffle. Workshop waffle. That sounds like a series name, doesn't it? Maybe we'll save that for the next project. Workshop waffle. And we'll be picking up the story of the move very soon and when it's going to happen. But nothing is urgent, and I'm going to carry on in here. I've got some nice little woodworking projects to get done. Let me give you a sneak peek at that. Numerous platters and chopping boards and things at various different stages. And there's just some really nice bolted timbers and other bits and bobs. Reclaimed oak, or I say reclaimed oak. This is oak from various projects which I've done on the channel. So we're going to be producing a series of these little charcuterie boards. I mean, these are limited edition because this is the oak from my oak frame porch build, and there was only about 2 or 3 I could make from the boards that went into that. But, you know, that will be a little piece of the oak YouTube series history. And they will be going on the website, but I'm not quite there yet. There's a few others in here. Ooh. This is another oak board. This one is from Dad's gazebo build. You remember, when was that? 3 years ago. My very first oak frame. That was one of the pieces there I ripped down and planed. So they're at various stages, like I say. But it's just nice. I'm not going to have a chance to do much woodworking in the next few years, so I'm just going to have a few weeks of some arty-farty type stuff. Anyway, that really is the end of Workshop Waffle episode 1. I will be back on the tools very soon. I need to get on and finish off this mitre saw station, which will be a separate video in itself, probably already out on the channel. But thank you for watching. Any more questions on progress, then stick them down below. We did recently, we did do a Q&A video, which was really varied, a whole spectrum of stuff. But if you want to head over, you can watch that video, and that might explain a little bit more about our plans. But thank you for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.